Hello, welcome back to American English Podcast channel. In this episode, we are going to talk about how to think in English in a natural and comfortable way, even if you are a beginner or an intermediate learner. When people start learning English, they usually focus on vocabulary lists, grammar rules, and reading exercises. These things are useful, but they do not teach you how to think in English. Thinking in English is a mental skill, and it needs a different type of practice. In this episode, we will explore new and practical methods that can help you train your brain to use English automatically. Let's begin with something many learners never try: using English to guide your day. For example, imagine your brain is your English coach. When you start your day, try to give yourself very small instructions in English. Say in your mind, stand up slowly, open the window, take a deep breath, walk to the kitchen, make tea. These tiny instructions help your brain switch into English mode without pressure. Another great method is to use English to plan your actions before you do them. Before you open your book, tell yourself, I will study for 10 minutes. Before you leave the house, think, I need my keys, I need my phone, I need my bag. These short planning sentences help you build a natural English flow inside your mind. One powerful strategy is to connect English with your senses. For example, when you eat something sweet, think, this tastes sweet. When you touch something warm, think, this feels warm. When you hear music, think, this sounds nice. By using your senses, you connect English with real experiences, not translations. Another new method is to use English when you are waiting. We all wait, in lines, in traffic, before class, or before a meeting. These small moments are perfect for English thinking practice. Ask yourself simple questions like, what am I waiting for? How much time do I have? What will I do next? These questions keep your brain active in English. Let's talk about something different: visual thinking. Some people learn better with images. If you are one of them, try to use small mental pictures and add English words to them. For example, imagine a cup of coffee and think hot coffee. Imagine a bus and think big bus. Imagine your room and think my quiet room. This method helps you think in English faster because your brain loves pictures. Another powerful technique is to use English to observe people and places around you. When you walk in the street, try to notice things and express them in simple English. The girl is smiling, the man is reading, the shop is open, the park is full. You don't need long sentences, just clear observations. This helps you think in English like a storyteller. Here is another new idea: use English to express opinions. Even simple opinions build strong thinking habits. You can say in your mind, I like this place, this food is good, this movie is boring, this music is relaxing. Expressing opinions helps you create real sentences, not just vocabulary. Another great method is to ask yourself big, but simple, English questions. For example, what do I want to learn today? What made me happy today? What is one problem I can solve? Even if you answer in one sentence, your brain starts using English for real thinking, not memorizing. Something different you can try is to use English during your daily routines but with variety. For example, choose one routine each day. On Monday, think in English while cooking. On Tuesday, think in English while walking. On Wednesday, think in English while cleaning. On Thursday, think in English while studying. Changing the routine makes the practice fresh and more fun. Another powerful technique is called English reflection. At the end of the day, spend 1 or 2 minutes thinking in English about what happened. You can say, today was easy, I learned something new, I was tired, or I finished my work. Reflection helps your brain use English for real thoughts, not for memorized lessons. Let's move to another new idea: English labeling. Choose a room in your house and imagine labels on objects in English. For example, chair, mirror, table, light, window. You don't need real stickers, just imagine them. When you see the objects, the English names will appear in your mind automatically. Another creative method is to use English music without focusing on the lyrics. Listen to a song and try to guess the feeling. The song is sad, the song is fast, the beat is strong. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to connect English with emotion and rhythm. A fun method is to pretend you are explaining something to a child in English. When you explain something to a child, you use simple words. For example, if you want to explain rain, you might think, rain is water from the sky. If you want to explain morning, you might think, morning is when the sun comes up. This method trains your brain to think in simple, clear English. Another helpful strategy is to use English questions from real life. For example, what time is it? Where is my phone? Do I have enough time? What should I do now? These questions are natural and help your mind stay in English mode. Finally, one of the best ways to think in English is to make it part of your identity. Instead of saying I am learning English, start saying in your mind, I am someone who uses English every day, or English is part of my life now. When your identity changes, your habits change too. Thinking in English is not a fast process, but it becomes easier every week. If you practice these methods daily, giving yourself instructions, observing the world, expressing opinions, asking questions, making small plans, you will slowly build the habit of thinking in English naturally. One day, without even noticing it, you will wake up and your first thought will be in English. And that is the moment you will know, you are truly becoming a fluent English thinker.